Just say run, and I will follow you anywhere. And you have my heart, even when I am not there. Just say run. Just say run, and I will follow you anywhere. And you have my heart, even when I am not there. Just say run. Just say run. Just say run. Just say run, and I will follow you anywhere. And you have my heart, even when I am not there. Just say run. Just say run. Just say run. Just say run, and I will follow you anywhere. And you have my heart, even when I am not there.
Welcome back to the W1 Sim Series.
What is going to be a cutthroat championship clash.
20 cars line up under the lights. 4 and 5 red lights.
We welcome you to W1. Wheel to wheel, heading through lane car. They're going to go side by side, coming in towards Baggins and Beckett. Who's bravest? Fantastic move from Cheryl Bucknell. But it's not over yet. The house comes back at her. Report big crash though. And she leads, she crashes, she's round.
What a hard-fought victory that was. That is just spectacular.
But your drivers champion W1 Sim Series. What a season they have had.
Well, a very good morning, good evening, or good afternoon to wherever you may be in the world, and welcome back to the W1 Sim Series, a brand new season, everybody, with another team joining the grid, taking us to 22 total entrants and a whole load of carnage, chaos, and of course, fantastic racing heading your way over this 10-round calendar. My name's Tom Knight. It is so good to be back, and alongside me, no person I'd rather have in this commentary box with me. It is the wonderful Carl Peranic. Carl, first of all, how are you? Second of all, have we contained our excitement for W1 yet?
Oh, I feel like you can't contain it. I feel like you just can't contain the excitement. It's so good to be back. I'm elated to be back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all elated to be back as well. Season 2 of the greatest on the block, W1 Sim Series. What a time, honestly. I can't wait to get started, truth be told. It's going to be fantastic.
It really, really is. There's lots to look forward to over the course of this season. Of course, completely new circuits, completely new aerodynamics, the new straight line mode overtake that's been brought in. We've seen a lot of it as we headed through the course of our pre-season, our social races. But when it comes to actually getting involved in the racing, that is a completely different kettle of fish. There is lots to play for in that, and we are about to see it. And before we get into qualifying, because our drivers are just about to get ready, so we won't hold you for too long, shall we have a quick look at how the lineups are?
Absolutely, we shall. Your lineups for the first round of Season 2. First of all, the left-hand side of proceedings. You have Ferrari esports drivers, San Nutrix and Emma Clay leading the line for the Italian Stallions. You've got Ivan Hoofler and Charlotte Perkins reserving in the Mercedes, Regan Boylan and reserve Sarah Hardy in the Audi. Hevar with plenty of A's, screaming, Lauren nodding alongside her in the Williams car, Only Vic and Alicia Hoflack in the Alpine, with Vanessa Hostetler and reserve Willow Keeble in the Haas Toyota.
Absolutely. It's a last-minute change as well for the McLaren outfit. It's Lee Woodward, the Steadfast, alongside Olivia Collins, who's stepping in at last minute for Mayuki Panda, who has had something come up at work, so can't quite make it. Lily Browning alongside Maj Kojic in for the Red Bull Racing cars. It's Catherine Ormerod and Carlotta Markey, who line up side by side in the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. It's then Esme Chambers and Katie Grafton Steadfast at the Lean Green Racing Machines. Finally, last but not least, the Cadillacs, represented by both Zara Shahsavari and Catherine Thielking as well. And Carl, we won't tease around the block a little bit too much, because I can confirm we've got cars on a racetrack. We are getting ready for qualifying as hot laps start to begin.
Absolutely. Look at these glorious graphics as well on the left-hand side of your screens. New leaderboard, new graphics package. It's all rejuvenation in Season 2, but still the same superlative drivers that grace your screens and grace the British bitumen. For round number 1, the birthplace of Formula 1. And we've given them a bit of a stern test for the first round of W1 Season 2. A track where it is very tricky to manage the battery. A track where it is better to play it patient, because it will pay off in the long run. But it all comes down to this. First qualifying laps of Season 2 are about to begin.
Absolutely does, and the first driver to get us underway will be Esme Chambers, Ace of Hearts, as on the leaderboard on the left-hand side in the Lean Green Racing Machines. Their Team HQ just a few hundred metres away from this glorious circuit, the Earl Grey of British Motorsports. They run in towards that opening sector, try and slam on the anchors and get that car rotated through the left and opening up the straight, down towards the infamous Luffield and Brooklands corner for a rundown towards Cops Corner, where we might see trouble tonight, although a lot of drivers will be hoping to try and avoid that. Sparks flying as these cars are run as low to the ground as possible. And Carl, I know a lot of people here this weekend because it is the IRL British Grand Prix. This place is going to be packed come Saturday and Sunday.
I couldn't agree more with you, especially with the anticipation of another British winner. Could it be George Russell in the Mercedes? Sir Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari, who had a rapid resurgence at the Barcelona Grand Prix? It is all up in the air for debate and conversation, and it will all be settled on the Silverstone track. Meanwhile, Esme Chambers making their way through Maggots and Beckett, and you can see from the throttle inputs at half throttle that is imperative to save as much electrical energy for the hangers straight, not taking as much speed as perhaps they would have wanted to through Chapel, but now they can burn the battery, blaze it into oblivion. It's a V car behind them, though, that's got a great psychological boost. Might be Catherine Ormerod in the RB car or Carlotta Markey. We'll find that out in a moment. Final 2 corners to go. Little lift off before the left-hander. Carry as much speed through the right. Let the aerodynamics wash the car out wide. Burn whatever battery you've got left. And the benchmark of 29.4 very quickly usurped in glorious fashion by the RB car. 27.8, and that is a barnstormer of a British Grand Prix lap.
Absolutely fantastic. Heather, Alicia Hoslak, who has Curious Fire as well. That's Zara Shahsavari setting lap times. All in the mid-30s. We've got Sharkstorm, that's Lee Woodward, Olivia Collins, both McLarens into the 28s and 29s respectively. Keep an eye on Thielking, though. Goes fastest with a 1:27.557. Purple in the third sector, but Emma Clay out of absolutely nowhere goes fastest again by just over 3/10 of a second, putting that Scuderia Ferrari back to the top where she believes it belongs.
27.2, that is a monstrously quick lap to kick off proceedings. Just for context, I'm relatively proficient at this game. That's faster than what I can do. So Emma Clay is already absolutely on it. Of course, a winning driver in season number 1, looking for potentially a championship charge with the new regulations, probably falling in her favour. Willow Keeble looking to garner up a potential response in the Haas car, save enough battery, blaze out the final corner across the line, a 28.8, does put her in 6th place at the moment. We have got Red Bull, we've got Miss Nutrix, and also Onlyvic in the Alpine about to cross the line. Onlyvic goes into 14th at the moment, but the Red Bull charging on through Cops.
Certainly so. Flows through at about 250 kilometres an hour, roughly about 150 miles an hour if you want to use the better speed conversion. But through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel they'll run, maintaining pretty much over 130 miles an hour. Nice and smooth and flowing for the reservist that's stepping in to Jessica Ballsy. She's at the IRL Grand Prix this weekend, which is fantastic to see. Some photos that she has sent back to us here at the W1 Sim Series. But through what will be the penultimate few corners, through Stowe, where the Lando stand is, of course, this race weekend. And now the heavy braking zone into Vale and through Club Corner to finish off the first of their timed runs. What can Lily Browning put down on the leaderboard? Climbing up through the gears massively over the sausage curb, goes across the line 11th fastest at the time of recording.
Not a bad banker lap. It's all about gaining the confidence. Still the battery a bit of an unknown to a lot of drivers, as here's San going through. By the way, massive congratulations to San from all of us here at W1 Sim Series. Recently has become a partner on Twitch, which is a monumental achievement and thoroughly deserved at that. Throwing the car into the final 2 corners, avoid the sausage curbs on the inside. What's the bank going to be for Miss Nutrix? 5th place is what the banker is going to be. About a second off their teammate, but Ferrari sitting 1 and 5 in Silverstone.
Ferrari put something in their engine this weekend. I'm not quite sure what it is, but the both of them have come back from the off-season and looked really fired up. They weren't here for the pre-season, of course, but they have turned up for round 1. Emma Clay currently on provisional pole position. Miss Nutrix in 5th. This is a generational turnaround for both of the Scuderia Ferrari HP Esports team drivers, and I'm sure they'll have been getting some coaching, some guidance behind the scenes, but it takes a lot to put that how do I put this, technique into practice, and to see them doing it at the very first occasion, that is phenomenal.
Couldn't agree more with you, and I think this is probably what we kind of anticipated seeing going into this season. Last regulations was all about pushing the car all the way through every single corner, last of the late breakers, earliest on the throttle to put the foot to the floor. Now the momentum's changing. The impetus is a bit different. You've got to manage how the car's moving around the track. You've got to be a bit more patient. And as soon as you bring the tactical side into it, that's where we see the experience rise to the top of proceedings. Esme Chambers going on for another lap, did improve by about 1/10 of a second, charging on through Luffield, and all the while, all of these drivers are learning, but it is a dip into the gravel, and that will make way for the Williams behind.
Unfortunate, easy to do those. You're trying to dip your way through Woodcote Corner and on towards what is the old pit straight, and this time around does get caught out by the gravel that came a-calling rather quickly for themselves. Willow Keeble diving into pit road amongst most others, as we have just over 10 minutes left in this qualifying session at the moment. Drivers slightly further down the Otto van Hoflaar makes their way in towards Vale. They haven't validated their current lap, but looking to go again. We've got Lauren Nodding as well down in 21st place. They're making their way through to finish off their first run. Goes 17th fastest, and Katie Grafton as well, making their way through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel in the other Aston Martin car, as Madge takes an early retirement, and that does look like Copse Corner, Carl.
That does look like Copse Corner. There's a Mercedes that's gone so far off and scythed off towards the barrier as well. It's Charlotte Perkins that's gone off. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the car. Whether that's to take avoiding action or not, we won't know, but that has really put qualifying into some sort of question, but nonetheless, they will carry on, albeit slightly emotionally damaged. Field King on her 2nd push lap of the session. Emma Clay sitting pretty in the pits with a 0.3 of a second gap, as we have a little replay on what's happened. As you can see, this is Esme Chambers going through Luffield. Easy to do. You want to get on the throttle as quickly as possible, but the cars, they have a natural understeer characteristic to them, and that's exactly what can happen. So just over pushing it a little bit there.
Absolutely. Field King's up by just under 1/10.5 as they make their way in towards Luffield and Brooklands Corner. Through Woodcote they will run, which is the pretty much where the straight line mode exists, an additional one that you don't traditionally see with the old school drag reduction system. And down towards Copse Corner, see what they can do at the 2nd sector split. We'll see that time as they exit out of Chapel Curve. Through Copse Corner nicely though, keeping it nice, cool, calm and collected, and in towards one of the, I'd say, the trickiest sections on this corner so far, as you now have to to lift and coast so much it doesn't feel like you're trying to push the car as much as you possibly can. But out of Chapel now they run, improving by just shy of a tenth of a second. They've got about 3 or 4 corners to go now to see if they can find improvements on this lap and try and claim victory or provisional pole position away from Emma Clay.
It's all about that electrical energy expenditure. Have you got the tokens left in the tank to be able to deploy them all the way to the end? Well, Catherine Thielking through the final corner, trying to challenge for pole position, closes in, but it's not going to be enough within 0.2 of a second now, but still, provisional pole position is set in stone for Emma Clay. Catherine Ormerod, though, improving by 0.2, has the last sector been lavish? The answer is decently so, but has to remain in 3rd place. Drivers still struggling to break into the 1 minute 27s. Lee Woodward perilously close to doing so, as Regan Boylan crosses the line in the Audi car. My dark horse in W1 Sim Series has improved by half a second to go P7. Another astonishing lap from the Audi.
I must say, if you haven't seen Regan's stream, so go check it out, because there is a dress to impress theme that is going on at the moment. And also, I've got some confirmation of what's happened to Madge. They put in the driver's chat, heads up, don't read Twitch chat whilst on an outlap. So I think that might explain exactly what happened, because at Cobb's Corner, one of the fastest corners on this circuit, if you blink and you miss it, unfortunately, that is exactly, well, I'm assuming exactly what has happened. Our condolences with themselves, but it is fascinating to see all of our drivers getting themselves prepared and ready to still set lap times. One, of course, Vanessa Hostetler representing Team Haas, Katie Grafton being the other down in the Aston Martin. And whilst we have a brief downtime, we have got drivers out on laps, but no one's setting the world alight as it stands. Even Emma Clay can't find improvements down the old pit straight. Let us know who you are supporting in chat, because we want to hear from you. We always want to hear from you, and we want to let us know who you're supporting, who you think as well is going to get provisional pole position, because I think my money might be on Ormerod here, Carl.
I think it might well be. Oh, Emma Clay catches the curb in Chapel. That was an absolutely sensational save, but that is an indication of just how hard every single driver is pushing the limits out there. We get an immediate instant replay. Carry the speed through. 1, 2, 3rd time's the charm, but not in this case. Rear end complains at the very end, and it's not going to be an improvement, but still, provisional pole remains in favour of the Ferrari.
That it certainly does. I must admit, put Tokyo Drift over all of that style, because that will get you 1 million views over on social media. We've got a message in the chat. I have no idea who anyone is, but I hope they all have fun. That's exactly what it's all about, right, Carl? We've been here since Season 1, which started roughly at the start of the year. We had the pre-season socials towards the end of 2025, the Season 1 proper kicking off at the start of 2026, and we've grown exponentially, but the key factor has always been make sure that it is a fun place to be, and that's what the Discord's all about. If you aren't in the Discord, come join the Discord. It's pinned up in the Twitch chat. If you're not watching on Twitch, come over to Twitch, I suppose, and get the link over there. But it is such a lovely place to be, and first and foremost, that is always where it has been about, is being a lovely place and going from there and seeing the racing that's developed as a result.
Exactly. It's a nurturing environment, ultimately. People are always about raising the bar, getting everyone else to raise the bar, but it's always a level of support that they give. There's never any attempt to try and break anyone down. And that's the beauty of W1 Sim Series, as all of you, old and new, will come to appreciate, and already may have appreciated as you go through. That's just how wonderful this place is. And the main thing is positive environment for all, which Miss Nutrix is going to utilise to her advantage by setting the timing sheet ablaze in the Scarlet Red of Ferrari. Braking after the 50-metre board, she's already a tenth of a second up, as she just slaloms on through Brooklands and then into Luffield. You see the car have that little bit of a lazy slide at the mid-phase as the aerodynamics just don't really want to comply, but then they bite again. Then you can plant the power on the exit. Cops Corner, flat out all the way through, keep the car on the turf, and that's exactly what she's done. And through the second sector split, she will go. Again, another clean and composed lap from Miss Nutrix, and she's looking on course to put on an absolutely superb qualifying performance here.
I'd be worried if I'm in the top 4 at the moment. Improving by 1.5 tenths at the moment is Miss Nutrix. It's a personal best in both the first and the second sectors. I had a message in Twitch chat from Will Gibson. Hello, Will. Hope you're doing well. Saying, I hope you have fun. I'll be honest. I have the biggest fun doing this every Thursday night, and I'd say this to Carl every time we get ready to do one of these shows. It is the biggest privilege to be able to call this series because it is just fantastic and see how it goes as they come across the line. Wisniewczyk improves by 63 thousandths of a second, looking to try and make it up in towards that top 4. More chat coming in as well. We've got, are there any plans for more than one tier? Who knows? Potentially at some point, never say never. The way I think we've looked at it, especially within the staff team, is we don't want to run before we can walk. We want to get Season 1 or Season 2 done properly and make sure that it is always having that solid foundation to move forwards.
Quite right, and I think I echo the sentiment on my end as well, which is a privilege to do this alongside you, TK, and also to bring this to all of you. Heather going through Cop's corner, absolutely flying in the Williams car. It's too easy at this point where we're gonna fly through the Heather puns, ladies and gentlemen. Through Chapel corner goes the Williams. Plant the power. What's the improvement looking like? If there is one, the answer is it is close. Very close. But again, it's all about this expenditure we're talking about. Has Heather saved enough electrical energy tokens for this run to the final 2 corners? She's got about 20%. She's going to put on the boost all the way through. Just deplete the battery all the way and then clip 1. Kiss the apex at the final corner. Traverse onto the Hamilton straight for a next flying lap in anger, and it's 3/10 down in the end, so maybe just spending that electrical energy a bit too much.
Certainly so, and it comes with the territory. It's just learning how to manage that battery and learning how to deploy, where to deploy, how to use the straight line modes effectively, because it is all brand new information for a lot of these drivers. I've not even tested this out yet, I'll be completely honest. It's the first game that I haven't driven for a very long time, because I'm going to throw myself into the deep end and drive it on wheel with no assist, because what could possibly go wrong with that? But we do watch on board with Lauren Nodding, making their way up towards Luffield and Brooklands corner onto the old pit straight as well. So far, not improving the first sector. I think this might just be a slowdown lap as they had set a previous run. We mentioned Noni Vick as well earlier. Here she is out on the track, of course, one of the newest ambassadors for Alpine Sim Racing. We wish her all the best, and it's so good to see her in a full-time seat for Season 2.
Couldn't agree more. An absolute privilege to have Only Vic in the W1 circus. An absolutely wonderful person, and it's a wonderful place to be. So we're glad she is here. While that's been happening, Charlotte Perkins has moved up to P5, which is a good lap. Regan Boylan's moved up to P7 as well. Bearing in mind, I have some intel before this. Her personal best was a 28.8, if memory serves me correctly.
Damn.
She's just gone and done a 28.2. When the pressure is on, when her back is against the wall, she absolutely annihilates every single apex and puts down a marker like that. Scintillating Audi aura. But the real question is, we head into the final flurry, can anyone knock Emma Clay off pole position? Because it's time to find out.
That it certainly is. All of our drivers getting themselves ready. 38 seconds left on our timekeepers clock, and everyone in the top 5 out at the moment, trying to set their fastest lap time. Emma Clay throwing that car in towards the loop before heading down the Wellington straight towards Luffield and Brooklands corner, looking to find improvements. We'll see the split at the exit of this straight and in towards the corner. Can they find time? Yes, they can. Nearly a 1/10 of a second here, finding improvements at every inch, every margin. Can Emma Clay just put it beyond the reach of the double Catherines that are in second and third?
Now making her way through Woodcote corner, foot flat to the floor at this point. Esme Chambers into the 28s has gone up to P10. Madge keeps on dropping down the order. Not that they can particularly respond to that. Theo King's going to have to do more than that in the last sector. It's a 1/10 of a second. Needs to find another 1/10 on top of that to usurp the Ferrari. So can the Cadillac, the last winner of the social race, do it? No! Massive slide at the exit. It's not the first time we've seen a driver blaze those rear tyres into oblivion, but it will cost the charge at pole position. And Emma Clay could well have a free pass, but we're yet to see what Catherine Ormerod has up her sleeve.
Well, one driver followed by another. The Ferrari will have a little bit of traffic by the McLaren of Olivia Collins as they make their way through Club Corner. She won't be too concerned, though. Final corner to try and navigate, crosses the line, goes fastest, 1:27.1. Can Ormerod try anything? No, can't go faster. Emma Clay, unless Regan's got something, unless Willow's got something, I can't see anybody dislodging her from that top spot. She's 3/10 clear at the top, Carl. Absolutely phenomenal performance so far from Emma Clay.
Absolutely. There's your marker, everyone. Who's going to try and challenge for the Drivers' Champion? That was going to be one of our conversations. Have no doubt about that. Regan is improving through sector number 2. Emma Clay is at the top of that conversation. Nearly 3 tenths, just over 2 tenths on the rest of the grid over Catherine Thielking, who we know is no slouch at all. Regan's going to go through the final 2 corners. Egregious wheel flick at the left-hander. I saw that. Through the final corner. Is there enough battery? No, possibly ran out of fuel, but nonetheless, qualifying concluded. And Forza Ferrari.
Well, came off the off-season, didn't attend the pre-season race, maybe just hiding all the speed that she had developed over the course of the off-season, but a well and truly renowned Emma Clay that has come back for Season 2. Emma saying only 2.5 tenths from my personal best, so certainly looking quite impressive. The times have generally slowed down since the regulation change in 2025, so we're not going to be hitting the 25s to 26s like we traditionally expect. 27.1 is a phenomenal lap time, and I remember watching, I think, Alex Gillen do a few laps. He probably couldn't get that close to the low 127, so Emma Clay well and truly throwing the gauntlet down for the start of the start of round 1, should I say.
Oh, vouch. That is monstrously quick from Emma Clay, who takes pole position, the first one of Season 2. Catherine Thielking and Ormerod, 2nd and 3rd, with Lee Woodward in 4th. Charlotte Perkins, 5th. Miss Nutrix in 6th, with Regan Boylan, Willow Keeble, Olivia Collins, and Esme Chambers rounding out the top 10. Maj Hevar, Lily Browning, Curious Fire, Only Vic, Lauren Nodding, Sarah Hardy, Carlotta Marchi, there's too many names, Katie Groff, Melissa Hofflack, Yvonne Hufelar, and Vanessa Hostetler. I did it! Round out our grid lineup. It's much more difficult when you have 22.
You've got 2 more names to get through in the same amount of time. Codemasters have not given us enough time to get through the rest of the field, which is something that's wildly unfortunate. But now we've got a bit of a lobby reset. We've got the chaos moment that happens behind the scenes, although it is very fun to watch, although it's a bit loud in my ears from time to time. We've got a bit of downtime just to have a chat about everything that is going on. So first and foremost, there was an issue where yellow flags was causing overtake to be disabled. That, thankfully, has been resolved by EA, although they didn't put it in the patch notes. Thanks, guys, that's really helpful. However, there is another one. The Wet Wevar is not going to be around for this race. There is an issue with overtake, I believe, between PC and console, where some devices get overtake in the wet, some don't. So obviously in the nature of transparency and making sure that we try and be as equal and fair between all the drivers, we've decided to run it as a dry race here in Silverstone until we are able to determine that to no longer be a factor. And they're the major 2 points that we really have to talk about. Everything else is as it was in Season 1. Nothing really has changed. The fastest lap point still goes to those within the top 10. Points are pretty much the same here, there and everywhere. There's a few extra procedural things behind the scenes, but nothing you and I really need to know about as the viewers and the enjoyers. However, the one thing that has changed, Carl, is the calendar. We need to have a look through that, don't we? Because now we're in Season 2 proper. I think it's about right we go through those 10 races that our drivers will be competing in, and this is it on your screens. Carl, why don't you just run us through those 10 rounds?
I will indeed. First of all, if you didn't know, we're at Silverstone. Hello, everyone. We're at Silverstone, round number 1, and then we go to Canada, off to Montreal. Debut in the W1 Sim Series for Canada, round number 2. Imola at round number 3, a debut for that track as well. And then we got the Spanish double header. Barcelona, followed by the capital city of Madrid. And then because one double header wasn't enough, we're going to double the double header. We're a monster. Texas, followed by Las Vegas. Zandvoort, the pre-penultimate round with Mexico, second to last. And then because we want to watch the world burn, we're going to Jeddah for the final round. It's a stacked calendar, once again, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. Season 1 had a good calendar. Season 2, a little bit of spice to your life. There's going to be some chaos in there.
There absolutely is. I'm really looking forward to it to get going. And there are a few comments about the calendar that we may have cooked up for the start of Season 2. Most notably, nobody expects the Spanish double header. That's what nobody expects. And then to go back at the USA as well, of course, which will be some fantastic racing. But if you predicted Emma Clay to start from pole position, congratulations. You get the first point of the season for the unofficial chat championship that we run, which is now a thing that I've decided we're going to run because I think it'd be fun to try and keep track of everything that is going on. Yeah, Madge has just put in our Twitch chat as well. Yeah, heads up not to read Twitch chat was on an outlap. I'll be honest, I don't think that's the best thing you probably could have done.
There's evidence to suggest it didn't quite work out as you probably planned. But it's okay. It's all learning. And next time, don't do that again. Otherwise, a slight shunt. Outside of reading Twitch chat, British Grand Prix. like we said, there's a stern test for the drivers that are being put on today, particularly with the way the track is laid out. It is high speed. You have got, as TK shows right there, who needs official graphics when you've got the track map there? We've got, first of all, that run through Farm Corner, through Abbey Curve. It's tricky to save the battery at the best of times, but you've got to try and just spend your tokens carefully here. You've got a bit of savage at turn 3 and 4, then it's that first tiny blitz down the Wellington straight. Bit more respite at Brooklands and Luffield. The other bit, of course, is Maggots and Beckett's, but it's not much. You are riding on the throttle, about 90%, maybe half throttle at points. But in the race, you have overtake mode when you're within a second of the car behind. That will give them a chance to save more battery. So while pure pace is one thing, while Emma Clay did take pole by what is particularly a monstrous margin, all things considered, when it comes to qualifying, she's not out of the woods in race trim. Not yet.
Not in the slightest. And you mentioned there's so many factors that go into when it comes to the race, when it comes to battery management and all those things that really go into race preparations. You can be the fastest person over one lap, but consistency will every single time beat pace. And that's the thing that I will argue until the day I die, because a driver doing a 28 consistently will always beat a driver that can occasionally jump into the 127s. Not saying that's any of our drivers here, not saying that it is Emma that can just pull a lap out of anywhere but then really falls in terms of consistency. But just as a general rule of thumb, it is one to keep an eye out. But yes, let us know who you're supporting. We want to hear from you. There's loads of people that have come into chat in the last few minutes. All the follows, everything. It really helps the series. Massively appreciate each and every one of you that has come, stopped, said hello, who you're supporting. If you're just here to enjoy the racing, congratulations. You found a fantastic series to do it.
Couldn't agree more, honestly. Like I say, we will make no bones about it. It's just glorious to be back, ladies and gentlemen. And there was only so much of a story that the social races could give us, apart from one, that was the last race, where Catherine Fieldking won it. Probably to no one's surprise, admittedly, but she did win it. That's the whole point. Now the competition gets spicy, though. Now it's time to see who's going to lay their chips down on the table early doors, because you talked about consistency, TK. Emma Clay, we know she's got consistency. She won in Japan, she won in Belgium last season. Races that were ultimately chaotic. But it was that experience that put her at the forefront of the conversation. Now she's got the pure pace to match it. Qualifying has shown us that. So if she can keep both of those factors in scintillating combination, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Absolutely, and I make no assumptions to that, because there is going to be a fantastic championship battle over the course of this season. It might be worth just discussing those drivers that couldn't be here today. It's sad to see. We would have loved to have all 22 full-time drivers making an appearance today. It's never going to be with a league that runs like this, because people have real lives, and as much as we hate to admit it, we do like to go outside from time to time. Even I won't be here next week, which is quite a sad reality. I'm gutted to be missing one, but at least I didn't miss round one. There was a very small possibility that I was going to, but we got it figured out. Anyway, so Lily Browning, of course, is in for Lainey Milligan over Rebel Racing, alongside Madge, who is stepping in for Jessica Ball. Sarah Hardy in Audi for Jazz Luna, so she'll be back hopefully next time out. Willow Keeble stepping in for Angel Kirby in the Haas outfit. Charlotte Perkins is stepping in for Alexis Mason, of course, who could be a really valid championship contender. And the very final one, Olivia Collins, who literally jumped in with about 45 minutes notice, replacing Mayuki Panda, who got caught up at work as well. So it has been fantastic to see the reserve stepping in, and we're oh so grateful that they do step in. But it's so looking forward to seeing the full-time drivers return, of course.
Exactly. It's a mark of the stacked roster that we have in W1 as well. The fact that the reserves that are coming in have some proper pace as well. We know Olivia Collins has got pace, for example. She was challenging for a podium last time out. By her own admission in that social race, it was clumsy. There were mistakes that were made. But that's all learning. That's all learning, and there was no safer space to do it than the social race. Plenty of mistakes were made there, but it's all learning. It's all come down to this, where now, when the competition sets in, they've got rid of the cobwebs. We can shake off our commentary cobwebs, for goodness sakes, and we can get out there, and we can just have some fun, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we are here to do. Most importantly of all, this is the proper environment to be able to just revel in positivity, and we're going to give you that.
Absolutely. When all the dust settles and everything is said and done, the thing that we will be remembered by, hopefully, is that it was just a lovely environment. At the end of the day, the racing is the racing. But as long as we can generate a lovely place to be, that is all that I care about. It is fantastic to see how well the community, the drivers, everybody has embraced it oh so lovingly. And I did see Luke Sam in the chat saying, good luck everybody, special shout out to the engineers, which feels like that meme of Obama putting a medal on himself. So I'm fairly sure Luke will probably be engineering Vic as they make their way through as well. But yeah, that laugh has just confirmed that for me, almost certainly. So yeah, massive shout out to the engineers, because there's so many of them in the community that are getting involved. I know a lot of the Creator Series boys are getting involved and engineering a lot of the drivers, which is fantastic to see. I love the, how do I put this, the cross-platform, the cross-creator collaborations that we're seeing, because it really supports everything that is going on.
Yeah, the camaraderie in the F1 community is just brilliant. We absolutely love to see it. And I think, as well, you see that in the way that drivers have improved over the season, because it's all a story, it's all a journey as we go through. I think to season 1, Heather, we were dawning for the day where she'd score her first point. She scored more than that. She scored multiple points finishes, and that was helped with our resident PS1 Hagrid, Mr. Tafso. We love you and we see you. There's other, like you say, there's so many other people that are getting involved, getting stuck in to bring their drivers up to the next level. And that means the grid's going to compress, that means the battles get closer, and that means much more excitement as well as a byproduct. And with these new regulations as well, I can confidently say that, because there's none of this massive dirty air malarkey anymore.
Yes.
It is just pushed to the damn limit.
It is, and it's the best way to go racing. Arguably, I'd love to get rid of the battery system entirely from these generations of cars. Run active aero with a massive V10 or a V12 engine. Throw sustainability out the window for a season. We can make it back in the next few years or something. But just run a season where it is just really loud cars, going really fast, and having some really good racing. But anyway, moving swiftly on, before my workplace tried to cancel me, we are looking forward to the race. We are literally about 30 seconds away from getting to going racing. Yeah, I agree, no battery nonsense. I'll make no further comment on that. I did see a comment, though. When's the W1 merch dropping? No promises, I'll have to say on that. Maybe, if we can figure out something, if the community want it enough, maybe we figure... I'd love a W1 hoodie, personally. That's all I'm saying.
I'd quite like one as well. Nothing like being comforted by the W1 Sim series. That's all I'm going to say. Is there anything more comforting out there? I don't think so. We're in for a crack of a race. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say Emma Clay's going to win it. There you go. Short and sweet.
I'm going to say... Ooh, let's try and figure out where we're going to go with this. I'm going to go Theo King, starting from the front row. I reckon she's just got enough to try and pip Emma Clay when it comes to race pace and everything else that is going on as well. And whilst we've got a brief moment, we need to give a massive shout out, because we haven't done it enough over the course of the season, to both Sim Racing Centre, who have renewed their partnership with us for Season 2, giving all of the full-time drivers a complete setup and strategies package so they can try and give it their all in these races. And of course, Venturi Graphics, or the Venturi design team, who literally have designed 90% of the graphics that go on our social media. They've given us the sponsor boards that you see on screen. They've given us a load of stuff for the stream as well, the starting, the ending, the intermission screens, everything. It is so fantastic to have such great partners on board with us, because I promise you, it couldn't happen without them.
It couldn't, and it just doesn't it look glorious?
Yeah.
Honestly, Venturi tunneled into creating the greatest graphics package they possibly can, and by Jove have they. It's just fantastic. Look at it. Nothing like the British Grand Prix being christened by the W1 Sim series. It's just amazing.
You know what, I'll go full screen as well, just so we can appreciate it. Like, they've even managed to get the boards that light up and change done. It baffles me how they managed to get this all done, because it looks simply spectacular. So yeah, massive shout out to both of those partners who make W1 quite what it is as well. I've already seen drivers put in the drivers chat, TK mentioning merch on stream. I said maybe. I think Victoria said if we can make it to Season 3, then we get merch. That is probably... Okay, there we go. If we make it to Season 3, we'll make some merch. I can't guarantee how much, but there will be something out there in the offing at some point. You heard it here first, folks.
There you go, everyone. If you keep twisting the arm of people enough, we might get it halfway through season. Actually, that's no promises. I can't guarantee that. But we are waiting the pit lane for round number 1 of Season 2. Electric Boogaloo, the wonderful W1 Sim series, returns to your screens. And strap yourselves in, because this is the one a lot of people want. Look at the loading logo on the top left as well. They've changed the loading logo as well. Oh, this is brilliant.
Everything has changed. The leaderboard changes, the sponsor board changes, the loading logo. If it can be changed in the game files, Venturi, find it and change it. But get yourselves ready, because this is absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to get going. It felt like Christmas Eve last night. I was sat in bed trying to go to sleep. I was like, you know what? I've got to sleep because tomorrow is the launch of Season 2 proper. We are so looking forward to getting ready to go racing. I've been giddy all day at work. I promise you that.
So have I. So have I. I've been waiting a long, long time for this moment. It feels like a long time anyway. The crowd are loving it. Cars aren't even moving. Limbs. Look at them. Absolutely lapping up the action. But this is the one that a lot of drivers want to win. Sometimes even more than a championship. Harken back to Season 1 champion Lee Woodward said they would have taken this over a championship, and she won at Silverstone. And the emotion, the elation all poured out. If they replicate the feat today, who knows what kind of emotions they have. They start near the front of the field. It is entirely possible, but they do have work to do. What a gauntlet we've thrown down for them, both technical-wise and also in an emotional aspect. There's nothing quite like Silverstone.
Certainly no place like home, as the old phrase goes. Drivers have been given the command to get themselves readied up and racing. The setups and the strategies will be locked in as we get ready to go racing at the Earl Grey of British motorsport with 22 cars under the beaming summer sun just in Northamptonshire as we get ready for the start of Season 2 proper. 10 calendar rounds getting ready to go racing. I think Vic's been set in the wrong starting position. We'll wait and see how that goes. But 5 red lights here at Silverstone for the start of Season 2. The lights go out and we go racing. It's down towards turn number 1. It's Theo King that's already got the jump on Lee Woodward in towards the lead of the race. Emma Clay down to 3rd from the start. As Perkins up to 4th. Esme Chambers to 5th. Catherine Omerod starts 6th, and the moves making all in the middle places. That's Miss Nutrix running slightly wide in the Scuderia Ferrari car, but everybody through the first few corners nice and clean. This is good racing so far.
Both Ferraris fall foul at the start. They drop anchor. Scorching start for Theo King and Lee Woodward. That's really shaken up proceedings as Lily Browning and Hevar have a fantastic little scrap for P14 on the road. The Red Bull wins that at the moment, and only Vic moving up positions. We saw this at Interlagos last time, and it's time for a sensational Silverstone sweep. We've got a drag race up to Cobb's Corner. Charlotte Perkins versus Esme Chambers, and the Aston Martin thinks better of it. No need to throw it all away on lap 1, but they're going to fight side by side for a brief moment towards Maggers and Beckett's, but it comes down to battery saving. Emma Clay's closed right in. Olivia Collins throwing caution to the wind, trying to overtake at Chapel Corner, gets the switchback on the exit, right up the diffuser of the Haas car. Emma Clay burns the battery. How close can you go? Yellow flag at the back of the field. Emma Clay down the inside at Stowe Corner to prize away P2 for only a moment, and she could lose the overtake mode. She's got to be careful.
Certainly does, teetering over that 1 second mark. You get it into Vale Corner, so I think just enough done as we do see Charlotte Perkins in towards the pits for the very first time. A little bit of damage on that opening lap, but further back we see side by side Willow Keeble again, I think trying to make a move on Olivia Collins. Thought about it in towards the opening corner, couldn't quite decide whether she was going to send it there or not. We watch Catherine Omerod now as well on the back of Esme Chambers. That's Ace of Hearts as they make their way through the loop behind them. Willow Keeble again not giving Olivia Collins any breathing room as they make their way through the first sector. The Haas car wants to get on with this race and wants to get on with it now. And speaking of getting on with it now, Lee Woodward to the inside of Luffield gets the move done. Back to 2nd place for the McLaren car.
Expect plenty of moves like that, saving up the electrical energy chips to then deploy them dastardly towards the next corners as only Vic closes in on Hevar. Both Alpines, the Enstone outfit, piling on the pressure on the Williams up ahead. No need to overblaze the battery. She's going to use as much as possible, though, and then it's got to be about the saving. Lee Woodward is a second away from Catherine Thielking. This is the perfect start for the Cadillac, as the Haas and the McLaren both get past Catherine Ormerod, who I presume has been caught napping, saving battery at the Maggots Beckett's complex. Has got Regan Boylan dressed up dapper to become the Intercontinental Boylan missile. Olivia Collins round the outside. There goes the McLaren, locked in a scrap, and the Haas has come off worse. There's Catherine Ormerod caught up in the contact, and positions inherited for both the Audi and the Red Bull.
Fantastic news if you manage to get through 2 cars as English starts to fail me as we head on towards the 3rd lap. But yeah, heartbreak for Catherine Omerod. A little bit of wing damage there as they made their way through, and I think they were just slightly too far forward to make their way into the pits. We have had, I believe, Lee Woodward leaving the session. There we go, migrating host. That is unfortunate as Emma Clay gets past the now stranded McLaren car of Lee Woodward. Yellow flags further back. I believe that's Charlotte Perkins just through Stowe corner. But the lead of the race, Catherine Thielking, has well and truly ran off in towards the distance, and she's not looking back. We see Madge here on the run up the Wellington Straight, up towards Luffield and Brooklands corner, looking towards the inside on trying to get the move done on Willow Keeble. Can't quite keep it close enough. The outside will tend itself through the long right-hander. Can they find just enough room through as they sweep past Lee Woodward's car that is falling faster than a lead balloon? And the visual distraction there not necessarily paying off as they run down towards Copse Corner. Olivia Collins past Esme Chambers as well in towards the corner before the corner even became a concern, and off the circuit there goes Madge. Same corner where she crashed out in qualifying, not the one where you want to be reading chat, or so I've heard.
Learned her lesson, not reading the manuscript of her viewers. I like it. This has really shaken things up though. Likes of Regan Boylan up into 5th place. You've got Willow Keeble, Madge, Miss Nutrix has recovered up to PA already, so good little recovery. Zara Shahsavari, sorry, 2 seconds. Cadillac in P10. Zara with a cracking start, I will admit. I had a little race around Silverstone. She's got proper pace around the British Grand Prix track and putting it on some great displays. I think I saw some carbon fibre go flying towards the outside. I can't quite tell who it was. There's an Alpine going slowly for a brief moment. I think that was only Vic. She has recovered nicely though.
Oh,
and
no,
on
no.
she will carry. The Steve Gates invited the wrong person.
I
It's
haven't
not
done it.
ideal. But listen, nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen.
The
Lap
game's
number
perfect.
On to lap 3 or 4 of this British Grand Prix race. The other interesting dynamic that we will see is the pace between the leaders now, because Emma Clay's got clear air now. This will be a pure indication on the pace that the Cadillac has and the Ferrari has. This is going to be interesting.
It certainly is. I promise you. Apologies for the brief pause when we had there. Game is esports ready, by the way, if you didn't already know that. Of course, if you're on console, no way to join your friends. If you're on Steam, you do. Katie Grafton also leaves the session. We watch her ball with Olivia Collins in towards Copse Corner, trying to get the move done, just using as much slipstream as she possibly can in towards Maggots and Beckett's corner now, where traditionally you're Lycoing a lot more than you would do in races gone past, and both drivers just playing the fair game. That is fantastic to see, anticipating what others were expecting them to do, and see how they make their way through as well. I don't know if we can get Katie Grafton invite as well. I don't know if I've got her on my friends list, which is really bad to say.
At the moment, Catherine Thielking and Emma Clay, that battle's spicing up. I don't know whether Emma Clay just saved more battery, but she's nearly within a second of the Cadillac. That gap came rapidly closing in. It was 7/10 away from the overtake mode. Yes, it was the overtake mode zone. I don't know what the terminology is, but now Emma Clay is just turning up the wick and piling on the pressure. Olivia Collins keeps P3 on the road onto lap number 5. Esme Chambers closes in with Willow Keeble, Regan Boylan, Madge, Miss Nutrix, Catherine Ormerod, all within a second of one another. There is the stranded Katie Grafton. Well, Lauren Noddings just phased through them. I don't know how I'd feel about that personally, but the top two in a realm of their own, Thielking and Emma Clay, putting on a show at Silverstone. Olivia Collins and co. trying to pick up the pieces, but it's Esme Chambers around the outside. Yellow flag for Heather, who's had a moment out of the out of Village complex. That means only Vic inherits the place, but side by side now, through Woodcote and down to Copse Corner. I feel like we've seen this one before.
Certainly have. The Aston Martin sends it down the inside, gets the move done. Collins backs off. Sensible decision to make. But look at her trying to come back at her in towards Maggots and Beckett side by side again. But the Papaya pilot does not decide to go for the send in towards this tricky twist of turns. And we'll just wait for the opportunity down the straight up towards Stowe Corner and see what they can try and put on in towards Vale. Most notably here, Carl, Emma Clay, right on the back of Catherine Thielking. You see Miss Nutrix get the better of Madge slightly further back past the Rebel. And Mad, the Rebel racer comes back at her through Stowe Corner, tries it around the outside. Can she make the move? Not quite close enough, but the dive into Vale could be on. It's not this time, but further afield is Olivia Collins holding off Esme Chambers as they swoop through Club Corner. That Papaya car just holding on by the barest of margins.
The battling's costing him so much time, but what a show it is. Esme Chambers immediately retaliates down the inside. McLaren and Aston gorilla glued to the hip to one another, and another send down the inside. But all this will do was open up the opportunity for the Haas driver here on board with Willow Keeble, who's there with a bucket of popcorn. But now a change for the race lead. Pole sitter wants their top spot back, and they have got it at Brooklands. Emma Clay leads their home race at the British Grand Prix. It only took them 6 laps to recover, back within overtake and back to the front of the field.
Here we go then, spicy as we make our way towards half-race distance. It's only Vic and Sarah Hardy battling hard in towards Luffield and Brooklands. Willow Keeble and Olivia Collins still going at it through Copse Corner as they're side by side. The Aston Martin dropping down yellow flags further down the order. That's going to be Alicia Hofflack in the Alpine finding grace at the exit of Luffield Corner. But this battle up for 3rd place on the podium between Keeble, Chambers, Collins and Boylan starting to reach boiling point.
Absolutely. Reached boiling point. That was clever. I like that.
Yeah,
Miss
thank you.
Newtrick going past Catherine Ormerod, who has been in the wars this race. Despite the superlative qualifying performance, it just has not clicked. As again, round the outside at Stowe Corner, goes the McLaren on the Aston Martin. And Regan Boylan's now the next recipient of some blockbuster entertainment in front of her very eyes. Onto lap number 7 for these drivers as they cross the line. There they go. And Emma Clay leads Steel King. Not panic stations for the Cadillac by any means. Clearly Emma Clay has some absolutely astonishing pace. But it does mean the Cadillac driver can learn from here at a track where it is so tricky to save the battery, where Emma Clay's spending the electrical energy tokens, where she can save the battery. So then if she does take the lead again, it becomes a little bit more tricky for the Ferrari to prize the lead away.
Absolutely right. It's a patience game when it comes to Grand Prix racing. It might not seem like it when you're driving at such incredible speeds, but actually what you want to do is learn, develop, understand how other drivers are driving this circuit, capitalise on their weak points, follow their strong points. By the end of the race, you're pretty much hitting the exact same times left, right and centre. We see further back Madge right on the back of Regan Boylan as well as they make their way down the old start-finish straight in towards Copse Corner. Boylan dropping just over a second off the back of Chambers and Collins and Keeble respectively as they look ahead, try and have an internal battle. But Madge will be trying to go for P6 here on circuit as they make their way through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel for themselves. We're into a brief resting point. I say that as Steel King launches an attack round the outside of Stowe Corner. Reed takes the lead less than a lap later than she lost it, and Emma Clay once again demoted down to 2nd place. The front two, I think, are going to be playing a game here. It's an internal battle when they're 8.5 seconds clear. It's Steel King versus Clay at the Earl Grey.
Inject the adrenaline into our veins, ladies and gentlemen. The American Dream versus the Maranello Concourse. There's yet more battles as Miss Newtrix gets close and personal with the Red Bull of Madge. Opens it up for Ormerod though. Plenty of electrical boost. Look to the inside. Only to pile on pressure though. Only to loom large in the mirrors. Got some great boost. Olivia Collins going for dives once again at Village Corner. Wasn't alongside, but pressure pays off. Willow Keeble forced to run wide just through the amount of psychological stress that is put under her, and that means now an excellent exit battery to boost, a chance to go to the inside of Brooklands, a chance to go down the inside of Brooklands Corner. The script writes itself, but they'll remain side by side at Luffield Corner. Hamilton versus Bottas in 2019, side by side, a bit of argy-bargy on the exit, those wheels clanging together, and they're side by side, another bash of the wheelbase towards Copse Corner. Willow Keeble holds firm, but they've got to save the energy again as they head towards the Hanger Straight.
Fantastic racing we're seeing so far, and it's strategic racing. I think that's the thing I'm loving about these 2026 regulations. It's no longer just burn the battery, get the pass. It's so much about thinking what your opponent's going to do as we have more yellow flags. I think, again, that's Alicia Hofflack having issues in the run into Brooklyn. Same corner we saw just a couple of laps ago in the same place we saw it overtake last time around, and this time it's Olivia Collins trying to make a move around the outside of Stowe. Couldn't quite on this occasion. Thought about a pit stop for half a second by the looks of things, but as it stands will remain in 4th place. Lee Woodward recovers up to 13th. Miss Newtrix having a good scrap there with Catherine Omerod, who now does peel into the pits, being the first driver on the standard strategy to make their opening pit stop off of a set of the medium tyres.
And this is what you can do on the 2026 regulations, because you're using less of the tyre grip and putting the tyres through less overall torture. Can save them a bit more, and that means an undercut is never out of the question with these regulations, and you do gain quite a lot of time out of it. So the question is, do any of the leaders want to blink? I anticipate either this or the next lap they're going to try and peel in, as there's a yellow flag on the straight. It's Miss Newtrix that's gone round, perhaps putting on the boost a little bit too early. I'm not quite sure, but that is devastation for the second Maranello car. Down to P9 they go, still very much in this race, which is good news for them. Emma Clay and Catherine Thielking, just to depict for all of you how far in their own world they are. They were 10 seconds, gap slightly dropped since then, but they're about 10 seconds ahead of the next battle on track. And Emma Clay goes through to retake the lead of the race, and they're 10 seconds away from P3. Some brilliant battles, but it's costing them so much time, but we don't care. Electric entertainment is at the forefront of conversation.
It absolutely is. Fantastic racing we're seeing. Chambers again going alongside with Willow Keeble. This time looks to the inside. Look at this, though. Olivia Collins trying the move to the inside of both, but Pitts early on there. That could have been 3 wide in towards Vale. Decided against it, probably the smarter move to make, but it opens up the possibility for both Keeble and Chambers to go side by side in towards the opening corner of Abbey, and they run side by side, looked about it for half a second, but decided that was not the smartest move to make. We do see Olivia Collins in the pits then making their stop. Hard tyres going on to that Papaya car, and will peel out of pit lane roughly, in my expectation, about 17th place.
However, the undercut could prove to pay dividends in droves, in double figures worth of laps here at Silverstone. There's Catherine Ormerod, who did pit, but had to fix the front wing, of course, so perhaps won't gain as much as they possibly would have anticipated, but nonetheless, it is a lap of less torture on the mediums. Charlotte Perkins is rejoining ahead of Olivia Collins, so that means the McLaren has some work to do. Hevar goes through on Sarah Hardy for P12 on the road. That is before Brooklands Corner. There they are. Lovely little helicopter shot. And once again, it's going to be 3 wide because we haven't had enough of that this race. Only briefly, though, Lauren Noddick. Well, not Lauren Noddick. Is it Lauren Noddick?
Yes, yeah.
Nodding, isn't it? Good, okay. Thank God. Honestly, gamer tags will be the death of me. Lauren Nodding shakes her head, lets Olivia Collins and Perkins through. Collins through into P14. And Lee Woodward recovery is going well as well because they're attacking only Vic for P9.
Absolutely, looking fantastic at the moment, not letting that disconnect get them down at the current moment of asking. Cutie Bunny, that's Sarah Hardy, stepping in for Jazz Luna here this afternoon on the back of Hevar, or the Wevar in the UK, looking rather lovely as it still stands. Miss Nutrix gets a position back on Charlotte. Zara Shahsavari in towards Stoke Corner, looking to come back at her though, in towards Vale, tries to look around the outside, doesn't quite have the confidence on the brakes to try it though, but deep goes Miss Nutrix by the nth degree, and thought about a move, I think did the Cadillac, but just playing second fiddle for the time being. We enter onto lap 11 of 26 here of the British Grand Prix for round 1 of the W1 Sim Series, and we do see Lee Woodward here making moves and trying to get past Only Vic, thinking about it in towards this opening sector. Didn't quite want to go for it late onto the brakes there. We'll try and use this to open up the run on towards the Wellington Straight here. We'll ride on board with the Papaya car as they make their way out of this left-hander. They'll get the straight line mode, they'll use the boost, and that at the end, when all is said and done, should be a fairly easy overtake for Lee Woodward, our Season 1 champion, showing why they've got such decorum to their name. We see moves being made further afield as well, as both Esme Chambers and Madge get past Willow Keeble, who either made a mistake or probably went off the circuit just a little bit.
It's interesting because I think Madge, if my eyes serve me correctly, is on the hard compound tyres, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, white walls on the Red Bull. There's the other situation. Only Vic, another driver who started on the hards, as was Vanessa Hostetler. Hards to start, the alternate strategy. It's not often you get a safety car around Silverstone, a massively open track. Not much opportunity for things to go wrong, unless it's qualifying. But however, the leaders are into the pit lane, both blinking at the same time. You definitely don't want to be caught out by an undercut. Emma Clay has been privy to that, and so has Catherine Thielking. Battle of the pit crews, they're going to do exactly the same time. Sorry to spoil your fun, everyone. There's hard tyres. There'll be hard tyres for the Cadillac of Thielking. Back into the race they will go.
Smart move by Thielking to follow in Emma Clay after making their initial pit stop. We got Esme Chambers, Regan Boylan, both pulling that trigger as well to serve their pit stops here on lap 12 of 26. They'll take the hard compound of tyres at just over 14 laps worth of racing. They peel out just ahead of their teammate Miss Nutrix, who now can play blocker to Catherine Thielking. Whether this was timed or not, simply outstanding. And Miss Nutrix, who has yet to make her pit stop, is ahead of Catherine Thielking, who's challenging for the lead of this race and effectively playing blocker. Fantastic.
Bloody hell, Thielking nearly pushed her through that corner. I thought she was going to try and make the move. Lee Woodward almost sends it into the diffuser of the Cadillac car, and Miss Nutrix defends the inside line. Every reason to do so. It's for position on track, but there's the surplus of grip, sweeping round the outside goes Catherine Thielking, and now has to burn a little bit more battery to get back within overtake range. Emma Clay won't mind that one bit. Perhaps they'll spend their tokens a bit too early before the hanger straight. It's all cat and mouse now on lap number 12, very rapidly approaching halfway.
Absolutely. Just over 9/10 of a second, tiptoeing across that 9 to 8/10 mark is Catherine Thielking, wanting to try and keep it within a second, of course, to maintain the access to the overtake mode that is generated at the detection point just to the exit of Vale in towards the final 2 corners on this circuit. You would be able to see it as they make their way down. Willow Keeble pitched from the lead of the race. That will allow Madge to come through to lead a lap, and the other Ferrari, that's going to be Miss Nutrix, also making their way into pit road as well. So did well to help her teammate out for a lap, and now goes in for a fresh pair of boots for herself. Lee Woodward joins them in the pit stop, as does Zara Shah-Savari. Hevar as well, going for some fresh rubber.
But very well done. Great work as well from Ferrari. Great teamwork from Miss Nutrix, helping out Emma Clay. Thielking is within a second, but I don't think was within it at the overtake point, although I can't quite tell you, of course, but it will make things pretty interesting. Lapped car, so Emma Clay's going to phase through Katie Grafton at some point in the near future. There it is. Catherine Thielking will do much the same. And now it's those ERS games being played, but we've got an interesting order again, courtesy of some drivers that haven't boxed. Madge is in P1, only Vic on debut in W1 in Season 2, full-time, is in P4 for Alpine.
Absolutely. And all she needs at the moment is a safety car to this be a really well-timed strategy. Gone long on a set of the hard compound tyres, as has Madge as well. Those 2 drivers yet to pit, and Vanessa Hostella as well, down in 14th place. Some of the drivers that are yet to make their pit stops. We see Lauren Nodding get passed by Regan Boyle as they made their way through Woodcote Corner on towards the old pit straight here at Silverstone. We have approached half-race distance. We've eclipsed half-race distance with just 13 laps to go here in this Grand Prix. Let us know who your prediction is for the race win. Will it be Thielking? Will it be Clay? Will it be someone completely different? We will have to wait and see as Esme Chambers gets the better of Sarah Harney just before Stoke Corner. It is fantastic to see the racing that is on display here, and a brand new fastest lap as well for Catherine Thielking.
Sure, Emma Clay would have thought after the teamwork, this is my opportunity. Never mind, because boosting round the outside at Farm Curve, that is absolutely beautiful from Catherine Thielking. No. Oh no, that's why Emma Clay's disconnected. I don't believe it. The pole sitter, we had phenomenal pace. It's all unraveled in an instant. And I'm absolutely gutted. The tantalising battle that we had for the lead has just absolutely crumbled.
Oh, if it's not one thing, it's another at the moment. It's Vanessa Hostella, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That'll be certainly one to forget. Charlotte Perkins steals away the fastest lap, though, a 1:30.194 for themselves. Lots of other drivers making their mandatory pit stops here this afternoon. Willow Keeble, of course, just on the back of Catherine Omerod still as they make their way out of Luffield Corner through Woodcote and on towards the old pit straight. A lot of battles are starting to emerge. I think that's the best way to look at this at present as they try and figure out where the best places are to deploy the battery, the best places are to make moves. And of course, if we should see a safety car, let's talk about everything else that could happen when the field bunches back up together again.
Indeed. Lap 14 out of 26. There's some mathematical fraction, 7/13 of the race through, but who the hell's going to use that? Most importantly, Madge is into the pit lane, right on cue, off the hard compound tyres to slap on some mediums to the end of this race. That means Catherine Thielking inherits the lead by a comfortable margin now, sailing clear out in front, and TK's prediction's going to come good. I feel like I might have cursed Emma Clay. I do apologise, Emma. I had every faith, but I didn't account for the fact. Connection. That's not really the point. I will highlight now at this particular point as we're seeing more and more drivers get acclimatised to the battery, which is wonderful to see. What I will say is the instability has to be sorted at the end of the day. There's been 6 disconnections. I'm not going to increase the number because y'all are immature. But there's been something like 6 disconnections in this race. And it just isn't up to par. When you have drivers fighting at the front, when you've got a battle that is so tantalizingly close as it could be, but then to be ripped away, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And it's no more heartbreaking for anyone than it is for Emma Clay, who was definitely in the conversation for winning this race, has only just rejoined. But look at the gap. Now has 13 seconds dropped to Catherine Thielking in what otherwise would have been a barnstormer of a battle.
It absolutely would. There's a great battle going on between Olivia Collins and Oni Vic as well for what would be net P2 should Oni Vic have pit already. She's the only driver, as it stands, not to have made her mandatory pit stop within this race. Started on a hard compounded tyre, looking to go long. I think was hoping for a safety car as Esme Chambers gets the better of Emma Clay. Not quite in control of her car as of yet. The ghosting you still see in effect means, or indicates at least to us, that Clay not quite in control of her car at the moment. Further back, Heather on the back of Charlotte Perkins in the Mercedes makes their way in towards Maggots and Beckett's. This could be a key move, an opportunity for an overtake, but they have got Lily Browning for company as they make their way on towards the hangar straight up towards Stoke Corner. Catherine Omerod as well gets the better of Emma Clay. Oni Vic finally pits after 15 laps of racing as they enter on with 11 to go here. There is battles starting to emerge up and down this field.
Horses escape from the stable, TK. She can't get it by the reins. It's a disaster for Emma Clay. I think she might be back in now. I've just seen the gap begin to stable up. There it is. We're seeing the temps roll down. Emma Clay's back. And now you're about to witness a legendary recovery. Mark my words, it's gonna happen. Lap 16, where does Oni Vic sift out in this traffic? Behind Zara Shahsavari, and that is a great first stint from the Alpine. Now with tyres that are going to be fired up immediately because they're a softer compound, the medium strapped on to the Blue Blur. She's going to blitz it through the field as quickly as possible and make hay while the sun is shining. Whilst we're on the subject of it, we love a bit of competition, but there are key drivers that really impress us. My first very impressive driver is the Cadillac of Curious Fire, Zara Shahsavari. We're watching the battle between Willow Keeble and Esme Chambers. Look at the cat and mouse of battery saving. So little speed taken through Chapel, but that's what you need to do to try and defend onto this straight. The Aston will defend the inside line. The outside line presents itself for Willow Keeble, but Esme Chambers has done enough to defend. Emma Clay has already dispatched of Catherine Ormerod. A podium place is a stone's throw away. A spin for one of the Mercedes cars. I think that is Yvonne Hoefler. I'm pretty sure it is, who does manage to get it back onto the track. And look at the pace that Emma Clay has. The red mist has descended on the Scarlet Ferrari. And when that happens, that's the colour that makes Emma Clay tick. Absolutely flying. And she's going to make mincemeat of those competitors if any pace is an indication to go by.
The blinkers are on the horse. The gallop has turned more into a stride for Emma Clay at the moment. She has been released from that stable, as you mentioned, right in the back of Willow Keeble. The straight line mode gets enabled on the run up towards Brooklands and Luffield Corner. You see in the distance, that is Catherine Omerod trying to figure out what is going to happen with this battle here. Emma Clay practically pushing Willow Keeble through the entry into Brooklands Corner, telling them to hurry up, get a move on. I want these places back almost immediately. And they run through Woodcote Corner. Again, the slipstream, the straight line mode for the briefest of moments before they head in towards Cops Corner. The ghosted car of Yvonne Halflar will help them to some degree, but through Cops they go. It's going to be side by side, surely in towards Maggots. Emma Clay looks to the outside of Maggots, inside of Beckett's, can't quite get it on this occasion, has to back out. That's the sensible decision, but Emma Clay, nothing could stop her at the moment.
Hasn't got much battery to play with. It's a cracking battle we're seeing. To the inside, tried to go Emma Clay. The carbon fibre confetti sprouts up out of the turf. To the inside of Stowe Corner. The Ferrari shows the nose, but not alongside enough to try and make the move. There is one more opportunity though, and it's into Vale Corner. Down the inside goes Emma Clay, but the outside momentum's just too good. Willow Keeble keeps P4, and Emma Clay has to sit in behind for another lap. But it will arrive sooner rather than later. There's Willow Keeble just blitzing on through into P3. Olivia Collins in a world of her own now. She's managed to prize herself away. And that purely comes down to the fact she had that massive undercut. Well, I say massive, only a couple of laps. But that's all the gap you need. As down the inside goes Emma Clay. A barge on Esme Chambers for good measure. Allows Catherine Ormerod through. But Cutthroat Clay makes hay while the sun shines. P4 now has to descend down into P5 once again. Ormerod with the ascendancy, and then through goes Emma Clay once again, switching it at Brooklands. This is great battling, TK. It's
great racing, angry racing. It is emotional racing that we're seeing at the moment from Emma Clay, knowing what she wants and how she has to accomplish it. She's got Willow Keeble and Olivia Collins just up the road, a second and a half back from Willow Keeble, who I think thought had wing damage, but I believe it is all A-OK on board with that Haas F1 car, should I say. So they make their way through the S section of Maggots Beckers. Beckett and Chapel again up the hanger straight towards Stowe corner. The straight line mode may come in clutch here for Emma Clay. They are now within just 7/10 of a second of the car in front, up towards one of the fastest corners on the circuit with the exclusion of Copse corner. Through Stowe they go. So easy to drop the car at the exit of this corner. Heather past Only Vic as well, slightly further back for 13th and 14th respectively. They're both on the back of Charlotte Perkins as well, looking to try and get themselves up closer towards the top 10, but Clay's not necessarily finding the pace she'd like through the third sector. The first and second, she's looking incredibly strong, but that third sector, 3/10 slower than Keeble that time around.
Exactly that. Exactly that. It's the game of cat and mouse. Time, in theory, should be on her side, but that all depends, of course, if these guys don't battle too much. That is the critical thing. Heather and Only Vic's squabble is not yet settled, because Only Vic's just got back through into P13 to retake the position, so good stuff there from Only Vic, because you have a little bit of a replay in towards, after Farm Curve, the village complex. Emma Clay darts it down the inside, gets well alongside, a bit of a barge on the side pod. I thought there was enough space given. It looked like there was just about enough. A bit of a show of the curb, but nothing more than that, as Lee Woodward's recovery continues to excel. P7 now for the McLaren.
Certainly is, and looking to try and climb ever higher. They've got 5 seconds down the road, and that's Esme Chambers just in front of them. But Madge, I don't think, is wanting to let this McLaren car go. At the first time of asking, they'll be trying to stay on the back and in the gearbox of the Papaya Pilot in towards Maggots, Beckett and Chapel again for the 19th time this race so far. We have to talk about Catherine Thielking, though, comfortably 13 seconds in the lead, and Emma Clay now retaking a podium position outside of Stowe corner once again. Signature move from the Scuderia Ferrari, but Keeble to the inside. Vale dives late in towards Club and retakes third. This is simply spectacular.
Fair play. I thought Willow Keeble had overcooked that particular apex as well. Colour me impressed. That was very bold and brave braking to retake the podium. Well done to the Haas driver. Emma Clay has to find another solution on here to lap number 20 of this race, but they are slowly but surely catching up to Olivia Collins. Gap now under 6 seconds for Willow Keeble to try and chase down. Could be what Emma Clay has to chase down, because she's got an excellent exit once again out of village onto the Wellington straight. Not close enough to dive down the inside at Brooklands. The inside line could present itself for Luffield. Willow Keeble will be privy to that, cover the inside line, and it's again more saving, more tactical awareness that Emma Clay's got to display as she tries to take care of the Haas car out in front as they head towards Copse corner for the 20th time. And to echo what you said, Thielking in a realm of her own, having a comfortable race out there.
Certainly so. Charlotte Perkins dispatches Curious Fire. That's Zara Shah-Savari, but goes deep into Brooklands. I wonder if there'll be an investigation about that, going off the track and gaining an advantage, but the Cadillac's not giving up yet. Opens up the straight line mode as they run through Woodcote corner. Miss Nutrix further ahead is past Regan Boylan on the inside. In towards Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. We look further back again. Can Curious Fire get on the back of Charlotte Perkins? No, but only Vic's come to join for company as the battle continues to hot up. Regan Boylan on the back of Miss Nutrix as well. Their run down towards Stowe corner. I wish we could have multiple points of view on this race, because there's so much happening across this Northamptonshire circuit. Big wiggle for Miss Nutrix, trying to get the car settled on the exit of Stowe. Regan Boylan backs off, sensibly not wanting to get caught up in the action. We got a battle between Willow Keeble and Emma Clay. Ace of Hearts as Esme Chambers and Catherine Omerod, and now Only Vic gets the better of Zara Shah-Savari in towards Stowe. Exit down, little bit of contact between the two as they make their way through Vale. Round the outside went Only Vic, and now Club corner comes a beckoning to start on to lap 22. Keeble as well past Emma Clay in towards Brooklands. Clay looks to the outside. Ray takes the place. There is no battling that is going on in this field that I don't want to watch, because it is exhilarating.
Anyone think TK should be an auctioneer after that piece of commentary? That was delightful. Many lists of names, and Emma Clay, I think, finally has got their person in the Haas car. Willow Keeble now half a second back. Whether they save battery through Maggots and Beckett, of course, is a conundrum that we will solve in a few seconds' time. 13.5 seconds is the gap out in front between Thielking and Collins. Emma Clay and Willow Keeble still interlocked in incredible combat for P3 on the road as Miss Nutrix again gets close to usurping Regan Boylan. Can't do it at Copse corner. She's done it once before at Maggots and Beckett, but look, has learned from last time, is going to have almost a full battery pack out onto the hanger straight, a little bit wide at Chapel corner, but now will blaze the overtake and all the boost. Emma Clay has managed to keep it on the turf ahead of Willow Keeble. That is critical for the Ferrari driver. Miss Nutrix deploys all the battery they can. Still got half the pack left. Still biding their time very much so. The battle is nowhere near yet over. P3 though, Willow Keeble's not letting this one go down without a fight. To the outside of Village after farm curve. Can't get the nose alongside, but he's going to try and set up the switchback maybe. Out of the second part and then burn the battery. He's got about half the pack. A tiny little bit of overtake, no more than that. Emma Clay is not going to be brought into the electrical battle. Now we'll save towards Brooklands corner. This is a great scrap for P3 and still it continues.
Imagine this battle if this was a P1 between Theo King, Clay, if Keeble was there as well. Collins, who I must admit has been an utmost fantastic drive from her today, given 45 minutes notice that she was racing to step in and come join the action, and has done so admirably. Keeble past Clay, as we do see Miss Nutrix getting the better of Regan Boylan in towards Brooklands, but I promise you this battle is not over yet. We watch on board with Keeble now, in towards Maggis, Beckers and Chapel. Emma Clay wanting to try and get the better of her through the Lyco zones, the moments where you want to be off throttle, and you can see Keeble was off the throttle. Emma Clay wanting to practically push the Williams car, sorry, the Haas car, through that section of the circuit up towards Stowe, and a gap started to form there as Clay had to be cautious, just backed off the throttle a little bit too much and compromised her run up the hanger straight now into Vale, as we do see an 8.5 tenths gap between the Haas and the Scuderia Ferrari car. Lots of battling up and down this field still going on. Stark Loki in towards the pits. Catherine Omerod on the back of Esme Chambers as well. They're making their way through Club Corner. The double right-hander on towards lap 23 of 26. From this point forward, Carl, I'll make the assumption there's probably no more safety cars. We do see Heather here going down the inside of Curious Fire. That's Zara Shasavari in towards the right-hander. Beautiful move late on the brakes and got that Williams thrown in.
Heather claiming very much so it's not over yet. P13 points in round number 1 in season 2. Very much on the table and ready to be gobbled on up. Lap 23. Never mind, there goes Zara Shasavari with a little bit of battery to use. Down the inside, Cadillac making moves, and these two are going to have a sensational scrap to the end. You're all probably asking the question, why can't Emma, well, after the display Emma Clay's put on so far, why can't she now get past Willow Keeble? Well, that's because Willow Keeble has the experience in the battle. Look at that, 47% on the front left tyre. Emma Clay has been pushing like a stabbed aminal to try and get past, but that of course comes at a cost. And Willow, all this time, with that battling at the beginning of the race, might have lost her time, but she now knows exactly where to deploy in order to defend most from our pole sitter here at round number 1 in season 2.
Absolutely right, though. Gained just over half a second did Emma Clay down the hanger straight in towards Vale and right back into contention. As we head on towards the penultimate lap of this race, it's Catherine Thielking, a mile and a half clear up in the lead. Catherine Omerod gets the better, or so she thinks, as they head in towards Vale through Club and compromised on the exit, as Esme Chambers says no thank you. Round the outside they go to hold on to 5th place on circuit. We've jumped back up to Emma Clay, who's still on the back of Willow Keeble, wanting to try and chase down the last of the podium places. Heather as well gets the better of Curious Fire again into Stowe Corner. It seems to be a favoured overtaking spot. Again, Esme Chambers gets the better of Catherine Omerod, who thought about a move in towards the first sector. The Aston Martin, who now has the Lee Woodward, the papaya machine for company. Further forward, that was Emma Clay trying to go side by side. No! As they spin out going through Brooklands and in towards Luffield Corner. You saw it just in the distance, and that is going to be surely a heartbreak again for Emma Clay, losing the rear end, and I wonder if there's just a little bit of wheel banging going on between those two cars.
It's the pole position curse rising up to the front again. Took 7 rounds of season 1 for the pole sitter to take victory. That was the person that's in P1, Catherine Thielking. Absolutely rampant and probably just coasting to the end now. The gap's come down by a couple of seconds, but she doesn't need to do anything silly or get penalties or anything like that. She can coast to the end and it'll be absolutely fine. Meanwhile, triple threat battle. These two inviting the season 1 champion back into it. One overtake into Stowe Corner potentially. Ormerod tried it. Lee Woodward will execute it. Down the inside goes the McLaren to take not 1, but maybe 2 places to the outside of Vale. The opportunity opened up. Esme Chambers says, don't you dare. Keeps that under lock and key, but look at the exit that Lee Woodward gets. It's been a great recovery. It's been so many recovery drives that we've had to talk about. Yes, correct in the Twitch chat. Lee did disconnect earlier, but look at this. Now battling on the coattails of the top 5 on the road to the outside. After farm curve, a snap on the rear though as the brakes, the tyres start to just lose composure a tiny bit. But it's all a setup for the Wellington straight, again snapping at the rear to try and get the power on as early as possible. The McLaren has the slipstream, has the ERS, has the straight line mode, has the inside line of Brooklands presented to them. But it's no more than a mere feint to the inside. Esme Chambers has it under lock and key. But look at this. How does anyone stop talking over the racing with the 2026 regulations? This is a just absolutely delightful display.
It is, and there is nothing more than I love this racing. This really opens up such possibilities for racing, and quite possibly circuits we thought were going to be done with racing. And Lee Woodward still in the back of Esme Chambers, looking this way and that, trying to go left, trying to go right, and every possible opportunity. Must remember, I believe they're on controller as well. Looks to the inside through Beckett's, tries it, will have the outside line through Chapel Curve. No, looks for the switchback, but couldn't quite have it as they run up towards Stowe Corner again. Catherine Omerod still for company. The McLaren looks to the inside now of Stowe, tries to send it deep, couldn't quite get the move done. The Aston Martin slamming the door in their face, and Lou Woodward will have to look for a new way through. This time looks down a Vale, does get it down a Vale, little bit of a slide. The rear end wants to step out, tries the switchback, but can't quite get the traction on that car. And this time around, it cannot be for Lee Woodward. They'll have to try again next lap as we head on to lap 26 of 26. One more to go.
Lap 26 indeed. Lee Woodward down the inside, shows the nose, piles the pressure on the lean green machine up ahead. Can they set up the switchback? No, Ormerod's there to completely throw the switchback into submission. Now it's going to be a straight line race down the Wellington straight. Field King will no doubt cross the line, but I've just had a sickening thought as Lee Woodward dives it down the inside. Again, can't make it work. I'm curious as to what her fuel situation has been in these last few laps. It's not an easy track to save the fuel, but she's out of Chapel Corner. Has got 10 seconds worth of a gap. You can see on the wheel, it looks to be green, so all should be good. What a display from Catherine Thielking. It's almost a premonition. You knew after the Brazilian social race she could make it happen, and the first race of season 2 is going to fall right in her favour.
She won it in pre-season. She is coming through the final 2 corners at the Earl Grey of British Motorsport to once again settle into the American dream for the first time in season 2. Catherine Thielking takes victory at Silverstone. Second place will surely go to Olivia Collins, the home hero, and Willow Keeble will come home in 3rd place for the Haas outfit. Emma Clay, it was just not to be this time around. She will come home in 4th, but for Lee Woodward, our Season 1 champion, holds on to 5th place. Chambers gets Omerod in the final corner to secure 6th. It'll be 7th for Omerod. 8th goes to Madge on debut. A fantastic drive for themselves. Miss Nutrix means it's a top 10 finish for both Scuderia Ferrari cars, with Regan Boylan rounding out your top 10. A fantastic result from themselves. Only Vic as well. We must pay credit. It points on debut.
Indeed, P12 over the line goes the Alpine. Applause, hats off to you. The Alpine ace claims her first points in W1 Sim Series on league turf. Fantastic result. Hebar also gains points. Zara Shahsavari in round 1 of season 2 also getting a couple of points on the board. Sarah Hardy thought they would have taken the last points place, but it's Lily Browning that takes it for Red Bull. It's such a weird kind of dynamic, this race. It was a race of what could have been in many ways, as we have finally Lauren nodding over the line. What could have been for Emma Clay had she not had the disconnect? What could have been for Lee Woodward had she not had the disconnect as well? But it meant we got to see the thrill of the hunt, the race to recovery, with some varying results, but driver under no particular pressure, under that kind of stress. Catherine Thielking, everything that could have gone her way went her way, and walks away with the gold trophy and the adulation of the audience of W1.
A simply stellar drive for Catherine Thielking, and one to be remembered starting the season as she means to go on. The champagne goes a-flying. Willow Keeble and Emma Clay joining her on the podium. The accolades as well. Charlotte Perkins taking the fastest lap with Willow Keeble driver of the day. Charlotte Perkins also picking up the most overtakes with cleanest driver. going to Regan Boylan, and I think that's acceptable there, Carl, with the way she's cleaning up the way that, well, I must admit, the outfit that she decided to race in here this afternoon. It's Catherine Thielking, your winner, from Keeble, from Clay, from Woodward, from Chambers, from Omerod, from Madge, from Newtrix, from Boylan, from Perkins as your top 10, with Vic, Hevar, Curious Fire, Lily Browning, Sarah Hardy, Lauren Nodding, Olivia Collins, Alicia Hofflack, Carlotta Markey, Vanessa Hostetler, Yvonne Haufler, and Katie Grafton, who had the most unfortunate of disconnects. We couldn't quite get her back in, and I feel kind of somewhat gutted that we had one driver that couldn't make the race today, because that is heartbreaking. Round one, and you've done about 3 or 4 laps, and the internet just says no.
It really is. It really is. And again, I won't natter on about connection because I've already talked about that during the race. But we did have 21 that did make it to the end. And that's great to see. It might not have gone the way of many drivers. They might have had damage. But that's the thing I love about W1, is that if something doesn't go quite right, they never give up. They stay out on the track. They know there's learning to be done. And they finish the damn race. And it's exemplary. It's that level of resilience that just makes it such a beautiful place to be.
It really does. It's certainly a special series, and one that I hope you will join us for every single race as we go through this 10-course calendar, because every single course will be fantastic to watch, and you get, I believe, the delights of Carl and maybe Tom Wilkinson, if I ask him nicely next week, to come and join you all on the broadcast. But before we sign off, Carl, I think it's only right that we have a little conversation with a few of our drivers, and we'll start with our race winner. It will be Catherine Thielking. Catherine, first of all, welcome in. Congratulations on your first win in Season 2. It's 2 for 2 if you include the pre-season. That must feel good.
It feels good. It's definitely not really the way I want to win a race with Emma's technical difficulties. She was very quick the whole time, and I was really looking forward to racing her. But my pace was pretty decent the whole time, and I think I'm proud of that.
Absolutely. Started the traditional strategy, went a lap earlier than a couple of other people. You went in at the end of lap 11. Was that pretty much locked in from the start, or was that a bit of reactive? Because we saw Emma go in. Was that a decision to follow her to avoid the potential undercut that she was trying to play?
Yeah, a little bit. My tires were also falling off the cliff. I think a few laps earlier I had a big lockup and I lost a lot of time and placed Emma eventually, and my tires are just falling off, so I really had to pit.
Catherine, look, an absolutely stellar drive. I think it goes without saying. It's happened again. It's the cream of the crop rises to the top. You're here again. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. I think the main question I have is, last couple of laps, I noticed that you lost a few seconds. Just coasting to the end, fuel, just talk us through it.
I think start of lap 24, I looked down on my bottom right at my MFD and I saw I was like 0.3 under. I was like, oh crap, I've got to do some major, so I was just like short shifting and doing some massive lifts. I was just like praying I could get to the end of the race. I think if this was like the last game, I definitely would have probably lost the win, because the other drivers probably were doing some Lyco too on this game. Yeah, I'm very thankful I was able to make it to the end.
For sure, and you've taken the first win of Season 2. You lead the champion. It's early days, but you lead the championship, so congratulations on that. I think the main thing from me is you've won in the league format. You did it in Brazil. You won as an American driver in the American team of Cadillac. So how much pride do you take winning the first race in the American team on our soil, admittedly, but how much pride do you take?
Oh, I think I have a little bit of pride. It's I guess nice to win on British soil as an American, especially with the 4th of July coming up. It's nice. I don't want to shove it in your guys' faces much, you know.
I mean, that's a fair comment, to be honest. I forgot it was the 4th of July in a couple of days. So you know what? Massive congratulations again. Just before we let you go, looking ahead to the season proper, of course, we've got some fantastic tracks lined up. Anyone in particular that you're really looking forward to? You're allowed to say the American tracks if that's the one you're going to go for.
I think I'm really looking forward to COTA, the Circuit of Americas. I really like it there. And was it Madrid? I think Madrid's going to be very interesting with the new track and like the tight walls and just the crazy corners there.
Absolutely fantastic. Of course, the new sausage curves they've added in the most recent update, which means that chicane is no longer as flat as it once was. But Catherine, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Congratulations once again on a race win, and we wish you all the best for the season to come.
Yep, thank you. Same to you guys.
Thank you so much. Catherine Thielking, everybody, your race winner for round 1 here at Silverstone. And Carl, I had to convince Emma to come and give us an interview, but I felt it was only right. We haven't heard from Willow. We'll assume they're probably busy getting some fresh air, because I'll be honest, my room is still 28 degrees in here. I'm quite visibly quite warm. I can see you're probably a bit warm as well over in your room. But we'll get Emma in to have a bit of a chat. Emma, first and foremost, welcome in. I think a race of two halves for you there, the disconnect and that comeback drive. Talk us through it.
Yeah, that was a disaster, to say the least, to qualify on pole by some margin, and to, have a disconnect. I mean, my game was just frozen. I had a massive screen freeze. My wheels started flying around everywhere. So I had to turn the game off and join back, and I think that put me into P6, I think. So I was just obviously fuming, and that probably could go in the way I was driving as well. But yeah, that was quite unfortunate, because I think I was definitely, I think, the fastest one out there today. So yeah, I was just a bit rubbish, to be honest.
Emma, I don't know whether I say congratulations or commiserations in some way. I'll put a positive spin on it, because look, I think the big question that probably me, TK, and everyone is wondering is, how the hell are you so bloody fast? I have no shame in admitting that you're quicker than me on this day. So how do you do it? Like, what is your how do you extract the pace?
Well, thankfully, I have a great team behind me to help me out with my practice. Before this race, we were really trying hard to try and get both of us up there today. Sana, I mean, her PB would have been good enough for, I think, P3 or something in qualifying, and my PB was a 26.9. So to get a 27.1 was okay. But yeah, I don't know, just the great people behind the scenes that help out. Yeah, it's just a collection of different things, I guess.
Yeah, and I think to echo on top of that as well, like, just to highlight opportunities, if those of you that don't know, absolutely outstanding opportunity, one that me and so many others would die to have, is that you, San, and Ishmael Fassi got to visit Maranello. Just how special was that for you? It was
incredible. I mean, to have the opportunity to go out there is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I was told by someone beforehand, once you get in there, it's like a world of its own. It's like literally Ferrari City there. But it's unreal. And I just have so much gratitude for the team to allow me to go there. And yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
Absolutely outstanding. And again, echoing Carl's comments, you were so quick in qualifying, quite literally a step above the rest. And as we head into the rest of the season, we asked Catherine the very same question. Any tracks in particular that you're really looking forward to in terms of racing?
Definitely not Jeddah, but I think the next one, Canada, I think I haven't done any real practice around there. I just have done a bit of time trial. It looks good in time trial for me. What else we have? I don't know what else we have, to be honest. Been focusing on Silverstone so much that I've just have the national anthem playing in my head constantly. Very British around here right now. But yeah, I think Canada should be a good race. But I think the strategy will be interesting around there to see the different ones, because here, I mean, you saw most people started on the mediums. Most people pitted on the same lap. I mean, me and Catherine, she pitted right behind me. I mean, I had the plan to actually pit on lap 12 because my tyre wear allowed me to. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to pit lap 11 and see if I can extend out. But she hung on to me like crazy, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, we all know what happened after that. So yeah, I think Canada should be fun.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to it. We look forward to seeing you back as well. And who knows, maybe going 2 for 2 in terms of pole position. Very similar to what Rebecca Morel did at the start of season 1. I think it was 5 or 6 poles back to back she managed to achieve. But Emma, fantastic to talk to you as always. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Cheers. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. That Emma Clay, everybody, P3 in today's race at Silverstone. We heard from Willow Keeble as well. They sent me a message saying they're in a call with their partner, but can say, I thought it was a great race and had some amazing battles. So good to hear from each and every one of our top 3, even if one was through a bit of a passed-on message. But what a race to open up Season 2 of W1 Sim Series. And again, we're looking forward to the remaining 9 races. If they're as exhilarating as that, I'm going to have to buy a seatbelt for my desk chair because I almost fell off it.
I know, the roller coaster ride for the ages, ridiculous. It's amusement park levels of entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. I will also say now, she had a bit of a disconnect at the end, hence why the results were slightly skewed. Olivia Collins did get P2, just quite clear. So you smashed it, Olivia. Well done. The undercut was inspired. I think, we can bring her in. She's in the interview waiting.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Go on. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing McLaren Maestro Olivia Collins, who was reserving 45 minutes to get into it. Welcome, Olivia.
Hey up.
P2 on the A up to yourself. P2.
Hey up.
Excellent little race. And I think there's one particular moment where I pinpoint, and that was you pitting earlier, getting that undercut. That looked like it really set you up for the rest of that race.
Oh yeah, I mostly pitted early because I think battling at Silverstone, it was fun, to be fair. I had pretty good battles of Esme and Willow, but to be honest, I think hitting early was the good strat, just to save the tyre and get an upper hand for a podium, which was my main goal, especially if I'm going to get a podium for Pyre and at my home race.
Absolutely. We love a bit of patriotism. Excellent. We're trying to get the 4th of July things out of our heads at the moment. We've been slightly embarrassed. But you know what? You've done the British proud, so well done. I think the other thing as well is it looked like you'd really shaken off the cobwebs after that Brazil social race. The battles were clean. You had a great understanding of how the car was. So just how fun, like you say, you said it was fun, but just how fun was it out there?
It was quite fun. I mean, I think, genuinely, I've got iRacing recently. I think that helped. I was a lot smoother on the steering. No, I think I was a lot smoother on the steering, to be honest, today. I wasn't, like, fighting the car as much as I was a couple months ago or a month ago.
I think if it was F125, the flicking meta, I heard it from a lot of drivers we've done. I remember doing it, and this is probably a bit of a tangent story, so I apologise, viewers. They did a 24-hour endurance race and then did and went Create Series in the middle of it. And all of the drivers that had done the iRacing race said it felt horrible coming back to F1 to race because the flicking meta. But I think with 26 and the regulations, how they've changed it encourages that smoother driving again. So I think actually, yeah, you're right. Probably the iRacing has helped a little bit now.
Yeah. Today, I think it did favour my little sneaky practice, but it's good to get a podium at one of my better tracks and favourite tracks and that's daydreaming, and get a podium in my favourite team as well. Good.
Absolutely. Of course, you stepped in with 45 minutes to go from Mayuki Panda. You literally got the call up, I think, probably about, 6:15, and we went live at 7. So there wasn't much time for practice, but sometimes that's probably the better way to approach it because you don't get in your own head about overdriving the car. You had a relatively, I don't want to say moderate qualifying. You were up in 9th, up in the top 10, and then you just stormed through in that race. That must have felt good at a bare minimum.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, before the race, my hands felt very tingly because I was literally just playing iRacing since like 12 in the afternoon. But I need to get that D license, bro. but yeah, it was a very late call up, but like it was I think needed. I kind of wanted to chill out anyway, sim racing a little bit, and it was a good thing just to chill. I mean, I didn't think I had to push too much. There's no reason for me to push during the entire race, but I think it was an okay. I mean, I think I could have done better, but Thiel King was literally, I think, one of the quickest drivers on the grid there.
Absolutely. Well, what a race we've seen. Olivia, been fantastic to speak to you as always. I'm sure we'll probably see you again in the next few weeks as one of our reserves for this season. But everybody, Olivia Collins, of course, finishing on the podium, stepping in for Mayuki Panda at the very, very last minute. What a race that has been. It has been simply spectacular from start to finish. And I said this earlier, we've got a great 9 weeks ahead of us as we get ready to go racing.
We do. First blood, Theo King, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, there were technical gremlins that managed to make that fall into place, but it is first blood, Theo King. There are many of rapid challengers in the wings. Season 1 champion Lee Woodward's definitely up there. Emma Clay is certainly up there. A lot of work for drivers to do to reach the top, but if nothing else, sensational spectacle they put on at Silverstone.
Absolutely right. We look forward to seeing you same time, same place on, well, Thursday night at 7 p.m. if you're in the UK, and convert for all your local time zones as we go racing in the province in Canada, which is summing up to be a fantastic race in itself. Its debut within the W1 Sim Series, and of course its debut under the 2026 regulations. But Carl, if the lovely people at home haven't already checked you out, and they should have done so many months ago, where can they check you out?
Well, I'll tell you where you can't find me. At a nighttime rendezvous in Northamptonshire. You won't find me there. But where you will find me is at my name, Carl Paranik. It's down over there. There you go. That's perfect. If you type that in, you'll probably find me there. It's a decent place to be. TK, where can the lovely people of the interweb find you?
Well, I'll tell you where they can't find me, and that's photographing furious flamingos in the fountain squares of Florence. I'm not there anymore. They kept biting me there. Vicious little pests. But you can check me out on the internet everywhere at They Call Me TK, just down there as well. Go drop us both a follow on Instagram or TikTok or whatever the young people use nowadays. It is fantastic to see you. I won't be here next week, but you will be in very, very safe hands, rest assured. From all of us here at W1 Sim Series, on the night where the American dream has come true once again, Catherine Theo King took victory at Silverstone. It is good night, and God bless.